What's up, YouTube? It's your friendly neighborhood gamer, your host, Coach Key. And welcome to Legends of Dice Cafe, where we learn about tabletop RPGs from old school to modern. Tips, tricks, reviews, and solo gameplay. Back with my weekly video, like I do every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today I'm going to be reviewing a D&D 5th edition supplement book. When I first started playing 5th edition, I had no idea what all these different books were. Module books, supplement books, campaign setting books. So I started purchasing a whole bunch of D&D books a year ago, and I'm just now putting some of them to good use. And honestly, just now looking through some of them as well. So I had an opportunity over the past couple weeks to take a look at Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. And honestly, it's a pretty cool book. I'm going to give you my review from a player's perspective and from a new dungeon master, game master, referee, Coach K. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, a magical mixture of new rules options. So as you can see, it has different character subclasses for all of your classes within the player's handbook. We're not going to go into each one of these, but it's got some cool subclasses. And then as you see, each one has optional class features as well. But again, like I said, we're not going to get into that. I just want to show you what Tasha's Cauldron has to offer. Character options, it shows you how to really customize your character. You're not confined or conforming into a box within that particular race or within that particular class is what it seems like. So you've got your ability score increases. If you'd like your character to follow their own path, you may alter your ability score increase trait and assign ability score increases tailored to your character. It shows you here's how to do it. Take any ability score increase you gain in your race or sub-race and apply it to the ability score of your choice. It even has the ability to customize your languages. To customize your languages, you may replace each language in your language trait with a language from the following list. You can also change up your proficiencies. Some races that include the ability score increase trait also grant proficiencies. These proficiencies are usually cultural, and your characters might not have any connection with the culture in question or might have pursued a different training. You can replace each of these proficiencies with a different one of your choice, following a restriction on the proficiency swaps table. Swaps table. So it really gives you the ability to really customize your character as you see fit, which I think is pretty cool from a player's perspective. You can also change your skill as well. Sometimes you pick a skill proficiency that ends up not being very useful in the campaign or that no longer fits your character story. In those cases, talk to your DM about replacing the skill proficiency with another skill proficiency offered by your class at first level. You can also change your subclass with your DM's approval. You can change your subclass when you would normally gain a new subclass feature. And then, of course, it has a extra class in here, the Artificer. I think the artwork also is pretty cool. And Artificer, Masters of Invention, they see magic as complex system waiting to be decoded and then harnessed in their spells and inventions. The magic of artificers is tied to their tools and their talents, and few other characters can produce the right tool for a job as well as an artificer. Barbarian, cleric, and a rogue, hands down, are my favorite classes to play so far. It also has group patrons. It teaches you how patrons work and examples, and it does let you know that you can also use this to serve as inspiration to create your own, which I'm always a fan about. Each adventuring group is bound together by the quest it embarks on and by the dangers its members face together. This chapter offers another way to bind your party together, a group patron. These patrons provide a strong binding element, an individual or organization that unifies a party as a team in service to a greater purpose. Then you have your miscellaneous magic. You've got some new spells and you've got some new magical items, which I think is pretty cool. We're not going to go in depth, but it has some pretty cool spells. I enjoy sitting back on the couch and kind of looking through these books, all of my tabletop RPG books, to be honest. Now, I thought this section was pretty cool, personalizing your spell, just as every performer. So my mic went dead. I don't know, maybe I was talking so much. So hopefully you'll be able to hear me. So I do apologize for any sound issues. But the next section right here, which I thought was pretty cool, was personalizing spells. It says that just as every performer lends their art a personal flair, And every warrior asserts their fighting styles through the lens of their own training. So too can a spellcaster use magic to express their individuality. Regardless of what type of spellcaster you are playing, you can customize the cosmetic effects of your character spell. Perhaps you wish the effects of your caster spell to appear in their favorite color, to suggest the training they receive from a celestial mentor, to exhibit their connection to a season of the year. The possibilities for how you might cosmetically customize your character spells are endless. I think it's really cool that that's in there. It helps you to be creative. It has some pretty cool magical items. One of my favorite parts about this is the magic tattoos. Blending magic and artistry with ink and needle magic tattoos imbue their bearers with wondrous abilities. Magic tattoos are initially bound to magic needles, which transfer their magic to a creature. Once inscribed on a creature's body, damage or injury doesn't impair the tattoo's function, even if the tattoo is defaced. When applying a magic tattoo, a creature can customize the tattoo's appearance, which is cool. A magic tattoo can look like a brand, scarification, a birthmark, patterns of scale, or any other cosmetic alteration. The rarer a magic tattoo is, the more space it typically occupies on a creature's skin. I think that is pretty cool. I like the idea of a magic tattoo. And here's one of my favorite parts about Tasha's Cauldron is the Dungeon Master's tool. One of the things is the Session 0. This is where I got the bullet points for my Session 0, which was pretty cool. And I love this right here, Party Formation. It has you ask specific questions to your players so they can kind of develop their party origin. And on top of that, it also has a random table where you can roll a d6 to come up to pick your origin story for your party, which I think is really cool. Another thing I think is really awesome about this is running the game for one player. It shows you how to add a sidekick into the mix. So if it's just you and your friend, or you and your girlfriend, you and your boyfriend, and so on and so on, it shows you how to run the session for just that one individual, which is really cool. Because sometimes getting up with an entire group isn't always feasible. It's not always the easiest thing to do. So, when you're at home with your partner or just with a good friend, even maybe online or in person, I think it's really fantastic. I think it's a great idea, and it shows you how to take your sidekick all the way to level 20. Creating your sidekick, gaining a sidekick class. Another section I thought was really cool is the parlaying with monsters section. This is really, really cool. Meeting a monster doesn't have to spark a fight. An offering like food can calm some hostile monsters, and sapient creatures often prefer to talk rather than draw weapons. If the adventurers try to parlay with a monster, you may improvise the encounter or use the social interaction rules in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Consider granting the characters advantage on ability check they make to communicate with the creature if they offer something it wants. And then it has a really cool monster research table. Adventurers can research what a creature is likely to desire. A monster research table suggests which skills can be used to learn about a creature of a particular type, which I think is really, really cool. Because again, it's teaching you not to just go in hacking and slashing and everything, but to kind of think outside the box and use your brain a little bit. Be creative, which is really cool. I like where it's going with that. Different random charts for desired offering for different types of monsters. Undead, plants, giants, humanoids. I think this is pretty cool. Another section I like is the environmental hazards. It has a lot of random tables for you to throw into different types of environments, and it even gives you circumstances that might occur when you would throw these in. This section explores how to add fantastical challenges to any locale and ways to further bring an adventurer's setting to life. So this is really, really cool section, and it's got a few different types of environmental hazards, and again, different options of when you might use it. The characters take a long or short rest in the region. A creature spends more than an hour reading an Eldritch tome written by those who have seen or otherwise interacted with the far realm. It's got a few different ones, and I think they're pretty cool. They're very interesting and really simple things to just add into your game, to add into the adventure, or different sessions to give it extra special flair or extra special excitement. I think they're cool. Another section that I enjoy about Tasha's Cauldron is the puzzles. It has some really cool puzzles. Not only does it have puzzles inside of here, it has sections under each puzzle to show you how to customize the puzzle to however you see fit. It gives you hint checks as well, and of course you've got the solution, and then it also has the difficulty ratings as well. So it's got some that are easy, medium, and hard, which I think is really cool because I was looking for something simple, a simple puzzle to throw in. That's the gist of Tasha's Cauldron. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out to support the channel, watch the videos, comment, like, everything. It's greatly appreciated. And make sure you stay tuned next week. Like I said, I'm going through a few of my 5th edition books that I've had on deck for quite some time now, about a year. And make sure you guys stay tuned for next week because I will be reviewing Xanathar's Guide to Everything. I really like this book a lot, so make sure you stay tuned so you can see why I like this book. So, as always, I hope you guys have a super fantastic week, a super fantastic weekend, a super fantastic evening. I'll see you guys next week, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Oh yeah, don't forget to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And turn your notifications so you don't miss out on any of the cool content that I drop weekly. All right, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.